Hello everybody, I hope you've been doing good. We had some rains this morning, but it was just that, rains. So I thought of showing you another interesting effect, mokume gane. Now, I know that sometimes I get a very new players in the domain of polymer clay. Let me first say hello. Hi, Lane. Thank you for making it. Hi, Lianka. Hi, Carlene. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Francis. So, in case you didn't know what the mokume gane technique is, it's actually derived from a metal technique. And if you hear me sneezing, like now, excuse me. I've been outside for a little bit before the live, and apparently the rain has released all kinds of stuff. Hi, Christina. Hi, Dudziek. So as I was saying, it's a centuries and maybe millennia old technique in metal. And I'm going to switch real quick to display to show you examples of metal mokume gane. So I hope you all can see this beautiful ring. Here's another ring and another one. And I guess this is a pendant. And practically what it is. Hi, Judy. Hi, Mona. What it is layering different types of metal, pounding them together and then slightly deforming them and pounding again to make it flat, and then deforming them and then pounding again. Now, for people new to my channel, I do have a mini series in 4, actually no, it's in 5 parts, but you'll find the link to the next one in the video description. Let me just, so this is the link to the very first video of the mini-series, and it is the one that practically explains what mokume gane is and so on and so forth. And I also explain the do's and don'ts of mokume gane and a little short color theory thing. So if you did not watch these videos, I do advise you to do. Thank you, Judy. And also I do advise you to, if you get on my channel, and I'm sorry you're getting a cold. I hope that's what it is anyway. As I was saying, please, if you go to my channel, you can see playlists. Actually, let me get back on the display to show you. So if you go to my channel and you click number 1, as you can see, the YouTube has done a search feature on the channel page, which should help you tremendously when it comes to looking for something, because I have practically tutorials about anything and everything. But if you go to playlists, and here you can see some of the stuff that is not public. But if you go to playlists, you can see that I have practically playlists for pretty much everything. And from beginner, this is the actual mini series. Let me link the mini series. Oops, not you. You. And let's get back to it. The canes, and I would recommend for you to watch the 101 complex canes, because it explains a lot of how to make canes, what type of colors to use, and all that stuff. And as you can see, I did clay extruder playlists, bracelets, earrings, pendants, necklaces. With the canes, they are beginner, they are advanced, they are, I mean, I tried to get them each a playlist. You know, you have basic polymer clay techniques, my own tricks or twists on that, imitation gemstone techniques. I even made some separate imitation gemstones because a lot of people look for especially turquoises, and I made the playlist for turquoises. I have reviews, pendants, you name it. It's pretty much everything and anything to help you journey in your journey for the in the polymer clay. Okay, so Mona, my name is Day. Kalyana is my channel's name, and I've said it several times when I was trying to choose the name for my channel. I looked for names in other languages that would put together several meanings. And Kalyana in ancient Sanskrit means at the same time beautiful and auspicious. So that's what I did. And I hear you with the thank you, Judy. I am a little bit OCD, just a little bit. I used to be very OCD, but after becoming disabled, it took me a few years to figure out that the earth will not shatter if I don't sweep the kitchen floor today, if I leave it for tomorrow. But anyway, hi Sharon. So let's get to what we are here to do. As you can see, I have black and white, and in one of the videos on that series I explain why when you want to do a very dramatic mokume gane, a good idea is to insert black and white, or depending on the colors you have chosen, only black or only white, because it's going to make everything more fabulous. Another idea, and maybe I'll make a tutorial on that one, is to introduce translucent in your, but again, depends on the colors you're using, depends if you're doing a stacked mokume gane or a stamped mokume gane. We are going to do a stacked mokume gane because again, there are two types. The stacked one, where you just layer various colors and then you thin them out, you stretch the stack to thin them out, and then you cut them and stack them again until you get to your proper width of the layers, and then you start deforming the stack and so on and so forth. While the stamped mokume gane, usually you only layer those layers once, But depending on the colors and depending on the thickness of the layers, especially the top layers, you can get a lot of effects, because after you layer them, you thin them out a little bit, and then you apply a texture on a stamp or a stamp on them. And let me actually show you something. There is a paid tutorial on my website, kalyanadesign.com. Let me get to it. So we can, and by the way, I'm planning on doing out of holidays special sale on the paid tutorials, but let me just get to that. I called it a smoke effect, mokume gane, shadow and smoke actually. Let me get to display. So if you go in the store and if you go in tutorials, you're gonna get to the shadow and smoke, and there's also a jewelry set. But see, this is all in that type of special layering stamped mokume gane. You can see that I usually put some little gifs there to show better how the whole thing is, and you'll find that on pretty much most of the tutorials listed. Anyway, getting back to our mokume gane today, because I've been long-winded enough. So I'm going to first get my edges clean, and then I am going to pretty much get the same width out of the black and the white. And it is shorter, yes, because it's going to be thinner. So I'm going to do about half of what you see here. Even half will be a little bit too much, because it's going to be double thinned. Oh God. And my little Finnegan also has the sneezes. It's a long and sad story. I'm not sure if I'm really good to talk about it. And some people don't have a heart. I mean, figuratively speaking, of course. Okay, so let me get this. So what we do first is to layer the black and the white together, and I'm going to go on the same. It doesn't really matter which thickness you start with. If you start with the thickest or the next to thickest, just make sure that all three pieces are the same thickness. All right, so I just layered together the black and the white, and I'm going to go on the same thickness now. So they are going to be half of what they are now. So you see what I was talking, that it doesn't really matter that they are shorter, because it's going to be pretty much the same thing. And of course it helps when you cut with the sharp side of the blade. Okay, and now starts the prettiness. I'm going to get them on the thinnest possible setting that I have on my machine. But before I do the second one, I'm going to use a little trick. Let me get this out of the way for a little bit. I am going to start kind of randomly fold this because obviously this is going to create a mica shift effect. But it won't be as strong. So simply fold randomly like you would do silk. Alright, so I have this now. Going to flatten it a little bit. I am going to stack it, cut and stack. Flatten it a little bit more. So the mica shift effect will not be super strong, but it's going to be there. It is going to give an extra effect to your piece. And now I'm going to flatten it a little bit more, enough to get it to fit in the machine. And yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Now it doesn't look like much, but trust me, when you're going to cut it, and again I am going to use the resin, but I only do that because it shows immediately how the piece will look like when sanded and buffed. Okay, so now let's get this one on the thinner setting. Okay, now I'm going to put this to the side and just this tip here and this here. And then I'm going to cut. I mean, of course you can measure, I'm just eyeballing it here. You can measure to make sure that you have a proper thing there. And I'm going to put all these ends to the side here, because if you watched my mokume gane videos, you know that I usually create a buffer on the bottom on a stacked mokume gane. So I'm gently stacking it. As a piece of advice, you can also, and I'll show you in the very end, the whole effect of it with the scraps. what you can also do, and that works great for bracelets, but not only. You can, I mean, it's a way to maximize the use of your clay entirely. But yeah, I keep thinking about your nail polish thing, and that is an awesome idea. And obviously I do need to thin this out because it's a little bit too thick still, even if it is on the thinner setting on the pasta machine. So I am going to, it's this way, I'm going to thin it out at least once. And remember, when you're doing this, you always have to flip over, because what happens, the ones on the top will get flattened out, but the ones on the bottom will not. So you need to flip it after you do a few rolls with your roller. You need to flip it. So I'm going to thin it out until I get it to be able to be cut in two and stacked, and then when I do that, I'm going to check the thickness. Almost there. Yeah, it's there. So let's see how thin it is. Kinda, sorta, almost. But it's going to get just a little bit more thinned out at the very last moment. So let me make the base. The buffer base, that is. And placing this on the buffer base. And now we are going to start deforming it. And again, when we talk about the stacked mokume gane, you can practically use anything. So I'm going to make a few point lines with a toothpick. And then go on the other side. They did go almost all the way. And then let's grab a ripple blade. Let me go on the front. And don't make too many deformed stuff. So the only thing I'm going to still do is use this cutter. So anything roundish will work. There we go. And now I'm going to consolidate it back again. And flatten it out a little bit. Alright, so we are pretty much good to go. Before I do anything else though, I'm going to get me some scrap clay. I have some right here. Oops. To make myself a base. I have to get a lot of polymer clay to go through the machine. So righty. And I'm going to use my my cane slicer. And I'm going to remind you again that you can find sets of cane slicers that are only 4 inches and shaving blades. These are the sharpest, and no, actually there were only a couple packages that were a little bit harder through what I've been through, but I cannot go through all the packages that I have in stash, so I guess I'm gonna just have to discover them in time as I try to use them. So these are the sharpest and thinnest blades that I've encountered from any product seller, and you can get these two in a package from Polyclay Play. Please don't forget to use my my affiliate link, and I'm going to post it there because I do not get money with Polyclay Play. I just get store credit, and that allows me not just to get my materials but also to do those giveaways. I know we haven't had one in a while. Alrighty, so with the mokume ganes, with the stamped mokume gane, I would use the thin one to shave. But with this, I'm using the cane slicer. Let me grab my eyeglasses. And before I do anything else, I'm going to actually get me a piece of wax paper to put my slices on, so that I can combine them, because I want to show you another way of, and I know it doesn't look like much until you sand and buff it or resin it. And cut as thin as you can. It's not a big deal if you cut some of them a little bit thicker. That's fine. It will be a very nice stone type effect. It will look a little bit like ocean jasper, but I'll do an ocean jasper sometime. And as you can see, it is not very difficult to make. It just has a gorgeous effect. And again, I'm going to show you different ways to use it. And you can even use the bottom buffer. As you can see, now I am in the buffer, and you can see all the prettiness. Hold on, I lost my camera view. You can see all the prettiness in it. Try and get these a little bit to get more room. And remember, when you cut a slice of this stack, you will get the mirror image exactly like in a Natasha bead. Yeah. Okay, the very last one. It's not that terrific anymore. And I can even turn it on the side because this one is a little bit too thick on this side. So I want to make it more even. All right, so I'm going to keep these two for earrings. Okay, this one is a little bit thicker than the other one. Still, let me trim it a little bit more. Okay, now they are pretty much the same thickness. So they would go like this. They would make a pretty pair of earrings. And I'm going to put them aside for a pinch. And use them here in a little bit. Where's my... I always do this. I lose my stuff. Here it is. Because if I don't put stuff back where it belongs after I used it, they are gone. Gone, baby, gone. Okay, so these are going to be aside. So let's grab the... And on this, I'm going to put this in half. So we can look at both techniques of putting this together. Now, of course, you can get them together by simply placing them, but my issue is with these lines at the very end, and you cannot escape those. So what I'm going to do to cut it into pieces and then layer them up. I'm gonna get a slab of something that looks like stone, pretty much. A little bit of a dip in here. And I can place even pieces of the ends that I said aren't pretty much good for anything, but they can be placed here. And as I said, we obtain a slab that looks very much like stone. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to flatten it. And then I'm going to put it through the machine, starting with the thicker setting until it doesn't get the whole. Yeah, I know, it always happens with when I put together when I smash the scrap clay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the thicker setting and then check every time if it's been flattened properly. So as you can see, I still have lines here, so I'm going to go to the next setting. And there's still some stuff here, but I actually do lack filling here. And this one seems to be a little bit lower, so I'm going to give it some filling here. So still needs a little bit more. And one more. Actually, no, it is good as it is. But I'm going to grab one cut out of this, and then the second one I'm going to make it. Or let's just use that oval thing. Where do I want to put it? I want to put it here. And the good part about using these like this is that you can continue and reuse this in patching up. Create a completely new slab out of all the remnants. So let's put this here, and I'm going to resin it to give you an idea about how pretty it is. And then we are going to look at it in a more close-up. Okay, now on the second one, you can do patchwork tiling. So I'm going to use only half of this. For this effect. So if I cut this like this, it would be 1, got it in 4. Actually, very easy. I'm going to give it 1 cut here, and then I'm going to give it 1 cut here. So I have this, yes. And no, I'm not going to put it right away on top of the other one. It's a very splendiferous type of mokume. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this in 4 strips on each side. You're not here, not in a good spot. And then start placing them, but that's the whole deal. I'm not going to actually let me mish and mash a little bit more. This one is not well here because it kind of matches this, but it's too late. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to gently press on it, and I'm going to grab some black and get it very thin in the pasta machine, super duper thin. And then I'm going to cut very thin. And we are doing a tiled mokume gane. Also named quilted mokume gane. There's a very old tutorial of mine, quilted mokume gane. Just make sure that you place them here properly. So they are flat on the one more. And I need more wax paper. Sorry about that. And I know that there are those deli sheets that one can use, but find wax paper better, and it's like 10 times cheaper. So I got my acrylic, a little acrylic tile to press on it. This is not really inlay, this is tiled. I have inlay tutorial in Yanka. It's a little bit different. Let me see. Not you. I didn't want this. Okay. Here's an inlay. It's related to my faux mother of pearl. Shh. Connor is begging for food, in case you weren't aware. Hold on. So it's a mother of pearl, and you really do inlay with it. Let me get to the end. This is inlay with the faux mother of pearl. Oh no, he's not asking for food. He was announcing me that he's going to throw up a hairball. I cannot stop it. Finnegan is horrible. He goes and convinces Connor, headbutts him until Connor goes ahead and grooms him. And of course, I mean, just grooming himself, he would get some hair. But from Finnegan, goodness gracious. And then a little bit later, he's going to throw up hairballs. Okay, so now this should be good. Let me grab my... And I'm going to use the same one so you can see the... But of course you can use it for bracelets and other stuff. And I guess the second wave of storms is coming, because all of a sudden I started getting, let me see, the barometer. Yeah, barometer started going down. Anyway. So we are going to resin both of these and check the effect on each of them. I do have one here. Get this out of the way. And this I don't even need to show you this, because obviously you just cut them in some kind of shape because they are similar, and you want to do earrings because they are kind of symmetrical looking. But let's go ahead with the resin. Yeah, I was looking for my eyeglasses. And again, this will look quite classy, so, and a little bit gemstone-y mineral looking. I'll grab the second one. All right, and let's get it in the lamp. So in the, as I said, I do have quite a bit of mokume gane and inlays. In 2022 I did an inlay spring theme. Let me see, what did it end up with? Yes, so it was with, starting with mica shift stuff, and what the heck did I do with it? I did a turtle, I showed quite a bit of things. I'm trying to find where's the finished. Oh yes, just swapping, cutting and swapping the colors, and then burnishing, and it comes out all with summer colors. Alrighty, so I'm getting back to it. But what I recommend, there's a stamped mokume gane. That's a gold leaf mokume gane. Give me just a second while I give this a second dose. So let me get to the end. It's an older, so the quality will not be as good as my newer. It's 6 years ago. It's before I got all my. But this one is made with liquid clay, not with resin, not with varnish. It's just plain Kato polyclay, liquid clay. And I show how to cure it. And as you can see, it's a pretty pretty nice end result. And then I have, let me see. And this one is with translucent and pearlescence and metal leaf. Then that's another mokume gane with a 3D water effect. And if you want to check on them, this is with the alien landscape, a double-sided. So if you search mokume gane on my channel, you should be able to find all of these. Okay. Just waiting for this because I did a second. There we go. So from a little bit more far. Remember, my lighting is not for displays. Let me change it to a little warmer. But I will have to change the focus so we can go closer. Okay, so there you go. Let me turn it brightness. Lower brightness. It's not, I would have to be in just natural daylight to show you all the effects on this. But you can see how, let me change the focus again a little bit farther. And there we go. So you see how the pearlescent and metallic start popping out. And as I said, this is a more glamorous type of mokume gane than the regular stuff. So I hope you liked it, and I hope you will try it and see all the effects you have on it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next Sunday with no more weather issues. We are supposed to have rain. We had rain this morning till like 11, and now it's supposed to rain start raining this early afternoon until tomorrow. So we are on a flood watch. I don't worry about floods because my house is on a little bit of a rise. The street is kind of like this, not very steep, but I am good. So everybody, please have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for being here with me. And don't forget to try this, and don't forget to watch, if you haven't watched my tutorials on mokume gane and other techniques, don't forget to watch. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.